the news that just came out about Jaire Alexander. Just got announced about an hour ago that he's going to be stepping away from football to get right mentally and physically. Obviously, the Ravens brought him in the offseason. I think it was a 1-year, $6 million deal. Ended up trading him over to the Philadelphia Eagles. The compensation was the Ravens got a 6th-round pick in this upcoming draft. They gave away a 2027 7th-round pick, so did a 1-pick upgrade. JZ, did you kind of see this coming? Can you kind of tell us a little bit about what was going on with Jaire in his kind of final weeks with Baltimore?
Yeah, I didn't see this coming, but one of the things I had said when they made the trade is you could tell how taxing it was for Jaire Alexander to not be playing and to not have a role. And obviously, he was working so hard, and he had kind of become upfront about the fact that he felt like the time off after he struggled in week 1 was beneficial for him, and he needed it. Just coming to grips with his reality of trying to play with the bad knee he had and all that. And, I know I've seen some people in my mentions celebrating the fact that the Ravens pulled one over on the Eagles and got a 6th-round pick out of it. But I just think these situations are kind of sad when you have these athletes who are just great players and they're having to come to grips with the fact that they're probably not the same guy that they used to be because of injuries.
Absolutely. And before we kind of carry on here, we're going to jump through a quick word from our sponsor at Sleeper.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using code HMA. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
And, people didn't want to hear it. They wanted to know, why would you trade a serviceable veteran corner who's played in some big games? Even if he's inactive, it's a good guy to have on your bench, a good guy to have ready to play when there's an inevitable cornerback injury, as we now know there is one with Marlon Humphrey in his finger. And, even after Monday, people were saying, well, it would have been nice to have Jaire Alexander. I just think they could feel it. They really could. It was really mentally taxing on him to not be playing and to not feel like himself. And here was an opportunity to get him in a good situation where he was supposed to play right away. And, the alarms went off this past week when they said he was going to stay home and not go to Green Bay and he was going to work out. And he just needed a little more of an acclimation process. That didn't sound good. You make these trades when you're in contending and you have big games because you want these guys to be ready to play immediately, and that they felt like he wasn't going to be ready to play in their first game. I imagine that hurt even worse for him because it was in Green Bay where, he spent the majority of his career. So, you feel for Jaire. You hope he gets right physically, and if he's dealing with anything mentally there too. I don't think this impacts the trade for the Ravens perspective. He passed the physical. He was practicing there. I don't believe there's any conditions he had to play a certain amount of games. But, the bigger picture is here's a player who's a great cornerback in his prime who just has had these devastating injuries that have taken a toll on him physically and mentally, and you feel for him. Hopefully he gets right and gets back on the field. I have nothing but good things to say about him. I mean, he was a total pro, really interesting dude. Whenever you talk to him, he's not afraid to say what's on his mind. Chuck Pagano sent out the glowing tweet when the Ravens released him. I don't think that was lip service. I think people were really sad to see it how it ended here because they were really impressed with how he handled himself, and they could clearly tell he was fighting it. He was trying so hard to get on the field and be the player he once was, and he wanted it so bad, but it just wasn't happening for him because of the knee. So all the best to Jaire. Hopefully he figures some stuff out, and this is just a blip.
Absolutely. And it's one of those situations where it's really humanizing, right? Like,
yeah,
as much as it's football to us, it's work to these guys. And, if we're going through something mentally, physically, whatever it may be, it can be tough to get in there, go to work, go through the grind. So, I hope that him stepping away is able to bring him some peace, and not peace that he's going to be leaving the game, but give him kind of that space to not go through the weekly practice grind, give him some time to get right. And he definitely has the talent. That's why I was so excited about the signing. He has the type of talent that there's no doubt in my mind he can work his way back to become, a starter again. And I thought it would happen here in Baltimore. Unfortunately, it's just not the way the cards went. But, I have so much respect for him. Nobody ever had a negative thing to say about his attitude or how hard he worked. And I just think that's one of those things that you just got to, just a commendable approach for Jaire Alexander. So hopefully he can get right and get himself another opportunity in the league. So we wish him all the best.